Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So, what's eating you? Well, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm talking about the spike in anxiety from Americans as it relates to the riots that happened on Capitol Hill in Washington on January 6, 2021. So, for most of us, I talked a little bit about it in my last video. We all watched the riots. And for a lot of people now, kind of decompressing, it's been a few days and almost a week now, and it's given people time to kind of decompress and talk about it. And we've watched, hundreds of videos, maybe not that much, but we watched several videos. And what has happening now as we're kind of like dealing with what happened is that more people who were already feeling anxious, we're already in an anxious time because of dealing with C-19. And you add on, we were kind of getting to this point where we're like, okay, this is what we need to do. Okay, all right, we're getting ourselves together. And then something else happens. And that affects us all as a country. And so when we all watched what happened in Washington, it affected people in ways that they didn't maybe think it would affect them. And so what the reports are coming out in different blogs and news reports are saying, and in the professional field of psychology also, is that people are reporting an increase in anxiety. And they're not feeling safe. Not feeling safe in their home, not feeling safe in the country, feeling this feeling of unrest. And it's also a good point to make too is how this is affecting our children. Children don't always have the tools or the language to express how they feel. And so the children watch those videos too, I'm sure. And so I think it's a good point to talk to your children about what they saw, what they believed happened, and their feelings about it. It's important because that sense of anxiety, if you're feeling that as an adult with some sense of rational thinking, as a kid, they don't have that same sense of rational thinking all the time. So as we do as adults, I'm sorry. And so you need to, in the best interest of our kids, talk to them about what happened. Even your older kids, your teenagers, young adults, but especially younger kids. What do they believe happened and how are they coping with it? How do they feel about it? Some people are reporting that they're scared of the future of this country, not only because of C-19, but because of the unrest that they watch in horror that happened on Capitol Hill. And so what the suggestion is, what psychologists are suggesting is that people, and how these are just some ways on how to cope with what happened as far as the Capitol riots are concerned. Number one, I would say to limit your exposure to the media regarding the Capitol. I know that day when it happened, many people reported that they watched the news like 24 hours straight. Like they just constantly watched the footage. I think at this point, almost a week later, it's time to reduce watching some of that stuff. Limit how much you talk about it. Not discussing it, especially if you're discussing it with someone who is debating you about it, or if they are dismissing your feelings and saying like, get over it, You live in wherever. Why do you care? That happened in Washington. And if they're like dismissive of the way you're feeling, limit your conversations with that person because your feelings are valid. Self care is important. Take a walk, read a book, watch a funny video, something that is going to give you a sense of peace. Um, Also, reduce if you're having a lot of negative thinking about it or irrational thinking about the future. You change those thoughts to more to positive thinking, and not let yourself get caught up in this feeling of doom and gloom. It will, if you do that, not only will you be dealing with anxiety, you're going to also be dealing with depression. And if you try these things and you still find yourself second week of February or somewhere down the line and you're still really anxious, afraid, then you should seek professional help. You should go and talk to someone if therapy is available to you. Then I would take advantage of that. And believe me, you're not going to be the only one there going into therapy maybe for the first time just because you are finding it very difficult to cope with not only what we're dealing with COVID, C-19, but also what we are all as a country trying to manage with this whole political unrest. So that is it for this video. Thank you for stopping into Psychology Eats. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment if you have any subjects you want me to cover. I would be glad to do that. And thank you.